don't know if this is going to work, but I'm going to try it, and I'm going to run with it. I'm going to try a different internet signal to see if that does a better job than the one that I was using prior. So let's run with it. Martin Luther King Jr. was born on January 15th, if I'm not mistaken, 1929. But the birth date is celebrated on the third week of January each year, so that they can fluctuate. Third Monday of each January of each year. So that they can fluctuate, meaning it's not always necessarily on the same day. In perverse irony, a top cop, Kamala Harris, who essentially locked people up, just like Martin Luther King, because understand, Martin Luther King was radical, and he ran up against a political and judicial system that was contrary to his interests, not just as a leader on this thing of racial equality, but also on this thing of economic equality. Meaning he was a socialist running up against a capitalistic system that also had a racial component to it, meaning both of these things are inextricably linked. There's a certain perverse irony in Kamala Harris releasing her campaign announcement to correspond to Martin Luther King's, or the celebration of Martin Luther King's birthday, being a top cop and all, and being that people like her put Martin Luther King in prison over and over again, and an argument can be made that people like her, at least going with the idea of the United States government itself, may have even had him killed. Like, you know, this is the same person whose office extended the amount of time people stayed in prison because they needed those people to fight fires at 8 cents on a dollar or something to that effect. This is the same person who criminalized truancy and was against legalization of marijuana, even though people were being put in prison for using a drug. Mind you, the whole premise of the drug laws, or the drug war, was based on Nixon's wanting to lock up blacks and hippies in order to divide those two communities, because it was understood or presumed that the African American community, or you could say African Americans that were fighting for racial equality, they thought these guys were communists. And they thought these guys were being pushed and motivated by communists, similar to the way they talk about this stuff today. But nevertheless, Kamala Harris releases her campaign ad. And in releasing that campaign ad, come on. And we should be good. It's back. In Kamala Harris releasing a campaign ad, it is the blandest ad on the planet. Like, it is the blandest presidential campaign run ad on the planet, and for all intents and purposes, there's nothingness. Like, it's an ad that pushes for nothing. You look at that ad and you have no idea what Kamala Harris is running on, what Kamala Harris stands for in this particular campaign ad. It is sugar. It utilizes nothing, while essentially uses this kind of iconography in order to kind of get from point A to point B, even though there's nothing in the campaign ad. Let's take a look at the ad. Let's take a look at the ad. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you guys will find something
democracy
in this. But at the end of this ad, what does she stand for? What does it represent? And what does it mean? Let's flip and take a look.
Truth, justice, decency, equality, freedom, democracy. These aren't just words. They're the values we as Americans cherish. And they're all on the line now. The future of our country depends on you and millions of others lifting our voices to fight for our American values. That's why I'm running for President of the United States. I'm running to lift those voices, to bring our voices together. So please join me in Oakland on Sunday, January 27th, and go to KamalaHarris.org to join our campaign. Let's do this together. Let's claim our future for ourselves, for our children, and for our country. I'll see you in Oakland.
What the hell was that? That was a campaign ad? If that is the campaign ad, I would say this though. It gives you an idea on how Kamala Harris is going to run. This is going to be somewhat of a African-American thing, where she runs full bore in the context of identity. That ad was horrendous. That ad was horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. But again, it gives you a certain idea on how she's going to run her political campaign. Substance-free identity all the time. I could be wrong. Maybe it changes. But if you're starting off your campaign with an ad like that, that ad tells you nothing about what Kamala Harris is running for. I strongly suspect that the way she's going to run is she's going to run on this thing of being a prosecutor. As if you can run on this thing of being a progressive prosecutor. I suppose that some people could do it. She can't. Not with the record that she had in California. I mean, come on. Her office locking people up for longer time periods. Backing up convictions that she knew was wrong. That more likely than not were wrongful convictions in her office. Backing those convictions up anyway and fighting for those convictions. Yeah, good luck on running on that record. I suspect it's not going to stop her from trying though. Let's see. Willie Brown Mistress got no shot winning. Willie Brown Mistress. Is that who she is? Is that who she is? And there was one more. I could have swore there was one more. Come on, come on, come on. Can't prosecute Harris. K-A-N-T. Can't prosecute Harris. First, she was a California district attorney who couldn't prosecute Muchin. Yes, that's true. Muchin gave her a campaign donation for that. Now she's running for president of the United States. She's about to realize that being a candidate is not as easy as it seems. Can't prosecute Harris. Stars and buzzwords and platitudes. That campaign ad was horrendous. That was a horrible ad. That was like Hillary Clinton on steroids. Like that's... Hillary Clinton would give these campaign speeches where it would just be platitudes. The entire campaign. You're like, God, this hurts. This is brutal to listen to. It sounds like she's going to run a very similar campaign with the difference of just being African American. It's as if the identity thing is going to get her from point A to point B. I agree with you, Belt. I think she's going to have another thing coming and the difficulty in trying to pull that off, especially with this election cycle. So, I could be wrong, but we'll see. Yeah, I know it's flipping. I'm going to upload the video also. This one is not doing well. In fact, I may upload my other videos in general until I get this worked out. Kamala Harris and Muchin 2020 hashtag partners in crime. That should be a hashtag partners in crime. Alright, I will end this here and I'll upload the better version of this video so you guys can see it as opposed to me trying to force through a video that doesn't seem to be doing all that well from the standpoint of the modem. Alright, I'll see you guys in a few. Thanks all. If you enjoyed this content, you find yourself coming back here often, please consider supporting this content. Either through PayPal or Patreon. They have been going after us viciously with the demonetization. So even $1 helps. Thanks all.